Hi guys, here I am for our last video, at least for now. And this video is going to be focused on making assignments and tests elementary and especially primary friendly, where our students can actually take them online without someone sitting right next to them. In the beginning, yes, they're going to have to learn the process of recording answers and doing different things. So it's going to take some time, but eventually they'll be able to do it on their own on Canvas, even our youngest learners. So I want to show you first assignments. And I know I showed this in the very first video I think that I did, but I want to show it again in case you didn't watch that one and you want to see this one. I'm going to go to student view first. And every time you click on that little glasses, it's going to give you the view that exactly what your students are seeing. And that's a really good thing to do just to make sure all the links are working for them. It will always work on your end, but if things aren't published or modules aren't published, if you have a page in a module and you didn't publish that whole module, it will not work for the kids. So make sure you look through student view, or else you're going to start getting the emails and the phone calls that things aren't working on your Canvas site for the kiddos. So like I said, I showed this in my first video. I think it was my story time room, but I want to show it because it's an assignment. If you didn't see that one, it's an assignment that kids can do. And I also want to show you how I set up this assignment and the way that this assignment can be made to use multiple times so I don't have to keep creating new assignments for a story response. Okay, so this is my story time room where the kids can click on, they can listen to a story, they can read their own stories that I put on here in a slideshow format. And remember, if you are importing a Bitmoji classroom, all of these links will be linked to things in your drive. They will not be linked to things that you have on Canvas. You cannot, and at least I have not found a way to put a Canvas link into a classroom. But the way around that is to embed your Bitmoji classroom. And I show you how to do that when we talk about linking, embedding things in pages in a previous video. But down here, below that embedded classroom, you can add links, you can add buttons, you can add Canvas materials underneath there. So they get the best of both worlds. They can go into your Google Drive things, videos and things that you've uploaded, but they can also have Canvas links below it that they can click on. And one of them is an assignment that I made. And it's a story response. I want them to be able to read the book. I want them to be able to tell me what story they listened to, what their favorite part was. But if you're looking at this as a primary teacher, saying, oh my goodness, the parent's going to have to be there, they're going to have to read all of this to them. No, we can make it kindergarten, first grade, even pre-K friendly by putting videos there. As long as they know how to click that play button, they can hear those directions directly from you. And when making an assignment, this video is created right on Canvas. I don't need any other video source. I don't need to upload any videos. You're literally going to be recording that video right on Canvas from the Rich Content Editor, which is that little edit bar that you can upload things and add things like text boxes and tables. You can also record videos. Or if you don't want your face on that video, you can just record an audio for an assignment also. So this goes through and tells them the directions to tell me about a story that they read. I'm in the student view, so this is exactly what they're going to see. This little blue submit assignment button. Now, to make it extra friendly for our primary kids, in your videos, you can even use your finger and point up, which I do in this video. I'm not going to play it because it's going to be a whole bunch of feedback hearing my voice and that on the computer. So I go through the directions. I point up and say, don't forget to point or to click on that blue submit button. Or if there's something to the side of you, another video that they need to click on, you can point with your finger. Or if they're doing something at the bottom in your video, just be conscious of that. It's going to make it easier for our primary kiddos. When they scroll down, I can also put an example of a reading response, especially if it's the beginning of the year and they don't know how to respond to a story. They don't know how. Then they can click on here and they can see me actually do that response. They're getting that modeled response there. So when the kids do click on it, and I'm sorry if you watched that first video, I know I went through this in there, but I want to go through it again in case you did not see that part. The record upload media button is where they're going to click. And they have to make sure that their webcam is on. Now it's on the wrong one for me, so I have to switch over. Now, you can have your webcam set up, or if parents or kids don't want a video of them, they can just do the microphone. They can upload just audio if they would choose to do that. I would like to see their little faces while they're telling me about it, but if for some reason they don't want to be on video, or the parents don't want to be for them to be on the video, that's okay. They can do the audio also. So they're going to just click start recording. Then they can go in through their video. Hi, I read the story, da, 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 da. This was my favorite part. This is why. Okay, bye. And then they're going to click finish. If they want to keep it, they click save, and it'll go right off to you once they click the submit assignment button. And then when you go to check those assignments, you can see all the videos that that student has submitted. Now, it's important on this video for me to make sure that I set this assignment up correctly, because what I'm going to use it for is for my story time books. Those books will be changed out every week. That means that I'm going to want them to continually respond to a story. And you're going to have some kids that will respond to one story. And as teachers, we know there are going to be those kids that are going to read every one of those 4 stories or 5 stories, whatever you put in there, and they're going to want to send you a response to every single one. So I don't want to have to keep going in and resetting the assignment. So I set it up so that it has unlimited submissions. So if you notice at the top, it says resubmit assignment. I already submitted it once. Now, if I want to tell about a different book, I can click that button. The same thing's going to happen. I will end up with both assignments on their account to check. That way, every week they can just continue to click that blue button, and I don't have to go in and keep changing this. Now, I might want to change it from favorite part to what was the main idea of the story, who was the main character, problem and solution, all of that. Now, that would require you to go in and do a new assignment. But if you want something to happen over and over again, then you need to set up your assignment as unlimited, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay. So let me go to assignments, and this is where you're going to see your assignments here. Oops, sorry guys. Over here, this is how you get to your assignments. Down here is where you're going to get to your quizzes, which we'll talk about also today. When I'm setting up an assignment, I'm going to click plus assignment at the top. And now I have to say, I haven't played around with assignments and quizzes a whole lot. I've only done a couple things on there. There are, I'm sure, plenty of things more that we can do with this, but I'm just giving a brief overview of what you would do. Okay, so up here is where your assignment name goes in. Make sure you're very specific about it, because this is how you're going to find that assignment to link it. So don't just name it math, because throughout the year, you're probably going to have a million math assignments. Don't just name it reading, because you're going to have multiple. So either put a date on it if it's something date specific, put a unit on it, put a topic on it, something that's going to differentiate it from the rest of your assignments. And up here is where I can put in text. Just like in all the other videos where we built pages, you can put in a table if you want it to be nice and neat and you want to be able to center everything. Like I put a video on there. Well, I want that video to be right in the center above my directions. Okay, I'm not going to build the whole thing for you right now because we have a lot of different things that I want to show you. But this box right here is where you would put all those directions. You could put audio files in there if you don't want your face on it. Then when you go to upload and record media, you're going to record, and you can record either your voice. You can turn your webcam off so that you're just doing voice or audio. Okay. You can also upload images if you want a picture in your directions, if you want a link to a certain website that they have to go to and watch something or do something before they complete this assignment. Whatever is part of your assignment, you can put in documents. Any type of a PDF can go in here that they can see to create that assignment. You can give directions and then upload a video of those directions. You can model it however you want to. Now, I haven't played around with all these different choices up here, but you can change how many points your assignment is going to be worth. You can add groups of students. So if you just want this assignment to go to your kiddos that are working on, main idea, they're struggling with it. You want them to have a main idea assignment, whereas another group is struggling more with what is the setting of the story. You can send a separate assignment to that group. You can choose how your grades are shown. You can just do complete, incomplete. You can do points. I think it's originally set to points. Now, here is where you're going to change it, the type of submission your students are going to do. So you might want your students to do a paper and pencil. That's all they're going to do. They're going to do that paper and pencil and submit it to you. You might want your students to do a video and audio. Okay. This is where you're going to go. The external tool options, I have not even touched. So I am not the expert on that. I am not sure exactly what we can do with that. That's something for a later date for me to start exploring. And external tool, the external tool options down here by URL. I know you can import different apps and things like that, but down here, there's no submission. So if they're not submitting anything, you just want them to view something or do something or listen to something, then no submission. On paper or online. Now, if you want a video or audio recording, you're going to click online. And then you can do either a text entry where they're typing something in, a website URL if they're linking something, a media recording, or a file upload. Now, if we want them to upload a picture of something that they did, you can click on that. If you want them to do a video and voice recording, you're going to click media recordings. Okay, that's where I think for kindergarten at least, we're going to live for a while. Or even pictures of their work and things like that. But when it comes to their story responses, that's where we're going to be for right now at the beginning of the year for me. You can choose multiple things. If you want them to be able to have a choice of either doing a video or uploading a file of a picture or something of what they did, you can do that. Down here, you can restrict their upload type. So if you only want a Word document or you only want some one type of file, you can choose that for them. Okay, so for right now, I'm just going to leave it at media recordings. Now, here is where I was talking about with my story response that I want to use this assignment over and over again, just with different books. Okay, you can go in and change it if you want to change the actual assignment. Now, one way that you can keep this same assignment and have them do it multiple times is right here where it says allowed attempts. Right now it's limited to 1. That means they'll submit it once and never get the choice to submit it again. Once it's done, it's done. Now, I don't want that to happen. I want this to stay on there. We might be working on our favorite part of the story for 2 weeks or 3 weeks before moving on to something else, depending on the student in the class. So down here, I'm going to choose unlimited. That means they can resubmit every single week until I change that assignment, and I don't have to go in and reset it. You can play around with I'm not sure, the required peer reviews. That's not something that I'll be playing with right now, but the older grades might start off with that. And group assignments, if it's multiple kids working on it together. You can assign to, and the default is everyone. You can change that if you have certain groups of students that you want to assign to. You can put a due date on it and when it will be available from. If you want to add another due date, you can add that too. And then you just go to save. Okay. So that's basically a little overview of the assignments. The mystery paths thing I have not really touched on at all, so I can't give you really any direction there at this time. Okay, so when I go to my assignments, I see that these are the ones that I've created so far, different assignments, my favorite part, my favorite character, what is the setting. Those are just ones that I was playing around with. Okay, so let's see. I think that's all I wanted to tell you about the assignments for right now, the things that I've played around with. I want to go over to quizzes and show you what we can do with that down here. And remember, you will see all these buttons, but if you turn them off for your students, which all of these are turned off because they're crossed out, the students will not be able to click on quizzes and see all your quizzes. If you keep quizzes on there, any published quiz, they're going to be able to see when they click on that button. Same with modules and things like that. All right, so I have 3 different types of quizzes that I made in a elementary primary friendly way. Okay, so and it's possible to do. It is a little bit more work. It involves importing pictures and audio files and things like that. So it is going to be a little bit of work for us and the front end, but once it's done, we can reuse them over and over. So I'll go to story sequencing, and this is a quiz that it's an ordering quiz, putting things in order. And when you build a quiz, you get choices of what kind of a quiz you would like to do. So this one is a story sequencing, something that we would start out with at the very beginning of the year, okay? And when I'm setting it up, it gives me the option to upload media. Now, here's the thing. With the version of Canvas that we have, it has new quizzes. We don't have the classic quizzes on there automatically. Now, classic quizzes, the older version, had an option to record media, to record audio and video. But unfortunately, on this new version, and I spoke to someone on the live chat helpline with Canvas, and I asked, am I wrong in assuming that there's no way to put it on there? And she said, no, they do not have that ability yet, but they are working on integrating the voice and recording abilities into the quizzes right now, but they're not sure when that's going to happen. But I'll give you some options in a little bit for how you can do this. And a quick and easy way, it's just one more extra step, which we don't really need one more extra step when we're trying to do all these things at once and prepare for something that we've never been in, these uncharted waters. But I'll show you a couple different options for making it easier to add audio and video. So for story sequencing, I said, listen to the story, Mrs. Wishy-Washy, then put the story events in order. What happened first, second, third? I can add audio to that. And I'm not going to play it because it's going to create a lot of feedback and echo with my webcam. But it basically just reads these directions and explains to them what they need to do. And over here is a video, and this is a video that I uploaded of me reading the story, Mrs. Wishy-Washy. So their job is to listen, and I apologize for the pictures. These would not be ones that I would send out to my kids because they are not very clear-cut for our kindergartners, beginning, middle, and end, but they just happen to be pictures from Mrs. Wishy-Washy that I had on my computer. So basically, they're going to listen to that story. Then they're going to come down here and they have to put the pictures in order. What happened first? What happened second? What happened third? And again, I would probably have different pictures on here than this if you've ever watched Mrs. Wishy-Washy. But I think my thought was with these ones, I can't drag it yet because I have to go into my preview mode. I am in preview mode. Okay. No, I'm not. Let's see. Okay. So, now I'm freezing up. Give me just a minute to get back there. Okay. So now I'm back, and this little button at the top, when I've built my quiz, I can tell I'm not in student view on this quiz because there's these little edit buttons up here. If I click on those edit buttons, it'll bring me back to my editing. I basically put a table in here from up here, and I uploaded, and it's right here, upload media, and it'll give you the choice to drag and drop audio files or video files in. Again, you cannot record directly on here for quizzes. Unfortunately, right now you can for assignments, but not for quizzes. Okay, so I put in an audio file and a video file and my directions. And then down here, I put in my 3 pictures that I wanted them to put in order. If I click on this little button with the eye that says preview, I'm going to see a student view, and I see that purple around it, which means that I'm in student view. Okay, so this is what they're going to see. This is what they're going to click on. This is the video that they'll click on to hear the story. Put the pictures in order. So then they have to come down here and say, well, first, the cow was in the mud. Okay, then they're going to think, oh, then let's see. Well, let's see. Miss Wishy-Washy came out and said, oh, just look at you. And then after that, the cow went in the bathtub. Now, if this was a real quiz, those probably would not be the best pictures to use, but they just happen to be ones that I found that I could quickly put on here to show you. So once they're finished putting them in order, they're going to click the submit button. It will auto grade your quiz for you, and it tells them they have 100%. There was only one question on it because I wanted them to do a putting in order, a beginning, middle, and end. So it auto grades it, and it tells the students what they did correctly. It shows them that they got it right, they got it right, they got it right. If not, it will be in red, and it will show them the correct answer. So that is really awesome for our kiddos that need that direct feedback. Did I do a good job? They're not there in the classroom to ask us, and we know as primary teachers, elementary teachers, that the kids always want to know, how did I do? Did I do it right? Did I do it right? Right here, they're going to be able to see how they did and see how to fix it if they did not. Okay, so I think that's pretty awesome and pretty doable for our primary and elementary students. Okay, now, and I will show you how to put audio and video in there and give you some suggestions if you want to do this. Okay, now I'm going to return back. Oh, other thing I wanted to show you was settings. Up here, for your test, for this quiz, there are a whole bunch of different settings. Okay, I chose for my kids, I would probably choose one question at a time. That way they're not scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling to see all different answers or all different questions. This way they're seeing that one question. If there's multiple questions on there, this one just happened to only have one. If there's only one question, then just one question will be there. But if there's multiple questions, then they're going to see all those questions on one page where they're scrolling through. This allows them to just have one at a time, click submit, one at a time, go on to the next and next and next. You can click on allow backtracking so that they can go to the previous question. Or if you think that's going to be a little too complicated and you want to know what their first thought was on things, and that's it, then don't allow it. You can have them shuffle the answers around, which sometimes is helpful, sometimes is not, depending on the type of quiz that you're doing. You can also have them shuffle the questions on the quiz so that different questions are appearing in different orders. Okay, you can put a time limit on it. You can allow a calculator, allow multiple attempts at it. So there are a lot of different things. Then there's your reports with your quiz item analysis and the outcomes. Okay. So I'm going to show you another type of a quiz, and then I'll show you that video recording, I promise. Okay. Now, another one that I saw, or I thought up for our younger kids, was a reading comprehension. Now, this is a stimulus quiz, and I'll show you when we open up one of the quizzes how you're choosing what kind of a quiz. This stimulus quiz, I think, would be absolutely awesome for our kids that are just starting to read and we want to know what they're comprehending. Okay, where this one that I set up gives directions at the top. I did not add audio to it yet, but I would add audio for the directions. This type of a quiz right now, I don't know that I would add audio down here. I guess it would depend on the student. If they're readers already and I know that this is at their reading level, I might not put audio in there. I want to see what they can read and understand. If they're kids that are a little bit below reading, maybe I want to hear their listening comprehension. So I'll put that audio in there of me reading it. So it just depends on what you're assessing. Okay, so you can put a stimulus, and that's basically a picture, a video, an article, any type of document you can put in there. and then you can have a question on the side. So it's side by side. Now it's set up so I can attach more than one question. And I did this with kindergarten in mind. But for those older intermediate grades, this would be absolutely awesome for finding text evidence, close reading, anything where they have to go back to the source and they have to find an answer. You can upload a news article that they have to go back to, and then you could put a whole bunch of questions that they have to go back and read and find that text evidence in there. So to me, this is a really awesome option. And this is also for the younger grades. This is also one of the options where you can upload a picture for the answers. Not all of the quizzes will allow you to upload pictures, but this one will. Okay. So that is just one that I was thinking of. And then I'll show you one more. And I'm going to go to rhyming quiz, and this is a multiple choice quiz. Okay, so it says, look at the two pictures, say the names of each, do they rhyme? I can click on my audio and I'm sorry, hold on. I am not in the preview mode. You can only listen to that audio in the preview mode. Up here with that little I, if you're in the edit mode, it's not going to let you see it as a student see it or listen to the audio and videos. So we'll just let it load up. Okay, so now this is exactly what my students are going to see, except not with this big purple bar around it. Okay?
Look at the two pictures.
Look at the two pictures. Okay, so you can see it's the audio. I'm not going to play the whole thing so you're not getting all that feedback, but I gave the directions up here just in audio format. And basically they're looking to see, are these rhyming pairs? So the beginning skills of rhyming. Do these two pictures rhyme? Yes or no? I also added the two pictures, and I added hat,
cat,
audio, cat. That way there's no confusion of whether that's a hat or a cap, because cap and hat do not rhyme, but hat and cat do. So this would be a time when I would definitely put that audio in when those pictures might be called one thing or another. Okay, and then I also put our yes and no answer, but I put a thumbs up and a thumbs down so that they can see visually, yes, they rhyme, no, they don't rhyme. So I think this would really be helpful for our youngest learners. Okay, and once they answer it, they're going to submit, and it will auto grade it for you right away. It tells you how long it took for the students to attempt, which was a really long attempt on my part as I'm explaining. And it tells them, yes, you are correct. If they were not correct, it'll be a red X and it'll tell them what the correct answer was. All right, so I'm going to leave this student view, and we're actually going to take a look at this one and add another question, because I started to build this quiz, but I did not finish it. Obviously, I just have one question and I would want more than that. So anytime I'm in edit view, anytime I want more questions, I'm going to click on that little plus, and this box is going to come up. This is where we can choose what kind of a question we want. And you can put multiple choice questions, stimulus questions, fill in the blank questions, all in one test if you want to. Okay, so this is a multiple choice question. The story sequencing that I did with the Mrs. Wishy-Washy, that was an ordering one where they have to put things in order. I'm sorry, was this a true? No, it was a multiple choice, because true or false does not let you put pictures in, I believe. So I used multiple choice instead. Matching sounded like a really great option for our younger kids, which it can be depending on how you're doing it, but it does not let you put pictures in there. It's only words. So some of them in categorization, essay, fill in the blank, there's some that you cannot import a picture. So just depending on what you're testing, but I know multiple choice, ordering, and the stimulus test allows you to put pictures in for your answers and into the body of the question. Okay, so this was a multiple choice. So I'll go to multiple choice, and you can kind of play around with all the different types of questions once you get the idea down. So I said, does hat and cat rhyme? That was the question that I put in. So now I might want to put in do dog and, or no, sorry, frog and foot rhyme. Okay, so that's my question. I don't want to put in a question stem, and I don't have to. Now it says type answer, but you don't have to type the answer. Actually, you know what? I think the question stem was where I put my pictures. I'm sorry. So right here where question stem is, upload media. It's already on image. I can put audio or video in too if I want to. I'm going to make this box smaller because I have my pictures over here. Now I said frog. Okay, I'm going to import. And oh, you know what? I'm going to take that out and I'm going to do that again because I want to show you something that we can do. Put it in there. Down here where it says alt text optional, this is where if they're hearing or visually impaired, it will read whatever you put down here for them. So it's nice for those visually impaired students. And I believe when it doesn't, it will read the test for them. And it will put whatever you put down here. That's what they will read. So I'm going to put frog there. And then I'm going to put my foot. So I'm going to put upload media. It's already on image. I'm just going to drag and drop my foot in there. Down here, I'm going to write foot and import. Now, when you import pictures, here's what we need to be mindful of, especially if we want one question on a page. The size of the picture, I found that to fit it all on one page nicely, your image should probably be about 50 to 75. Seems like a really good amount. So you can grab this corner and drag it down. So when I'm dragging it down, I want to make sure, and I might have to let go. Let me drag this one down a little bit so I can see them both. And I could make this window a little bigger and make it easier on myself, but we're just going to keep working through it. So I'm going to go down to about 75. It's 74. It's not a big deal. But around that, there we go. All right. So maybe I'll make my foot a little bigger. So he's, see, all these little things is what takes me so long because I'm like OCD. Okay, so I have my two pictures. If I want to add audio to it, okay, like I want to say frog, foot. It was in my question, but if they can't read it, they might not be sure, what is this? Is it a frog? Is it a grasshopper? We're talking about primary. Some of them don't know that that's a frog. So we want to make sure that we're testing them on can they rhyme, not can they decipher a picture. So for this, I want to upload media and I want to do audio. It does not give me the option to record it right on here. Same with video. It does not give the option. Like I said, the rep from Canvas that I spoke to said they are working on importing audio and video or putting audio and video capabilities on there, but they are not there yet with the new version of quizzes that we have. All right, so here's your options. I know at our school, we just got our new laptops. And there is a voice recorder. When you click on the start up menu and you go all the way down to voice recorder, you can record audio really quickly and easily. But unfortunately, for some reason, at least on mine, it will not let me put it in here. So I don't know what it is about the file that it will not accept it. I click browse, it would not even come up on the computer as an available option. So I was thinking of other options, and I have on my computer, I can't download it on my school computer because I need admin password. I have a program called Audacity that I use when I make boom cards. It's a little bit more involved. It's more of it's not a record it and send it out. It's where you can fix the audio, you can cut it, all these different options. So that is one thing that's free and it's really awesome, but it's a lot of buttons and a lot of things. So if you are interested in that, go for it. It's free and you can download it. Like I said, I can't download it on our school computer without admin approval. So here's another option. If you just want something quick and easy, online voice recorder. You type in onlinevoicerecorder.com, well, with dashes in there, And here it is. And you just, let's see, what do I want to say? Frog and foot. So this is what comes up. Click the button to start recording. Frog, foot. Okay, there's my audio. I can listen to it if I want before I put it on there, but I'm just gonna save, and there it goes. It's right down here. There's my file. I can even keep these two tabs open when I'm making a test. Just click back and forth between them. Just drag it in, put it on there, and import. And there we go. Our voice file is right there. I can't click on it and listen to it until I go into that preview mode. Remember, with the little I up at the top. I can't listen to it in edit mode right now. Okay. So down here is where we're going to put our answers in. So I want to upload media. I want to put that thumbs up picture for yes. And I'm going to type yes for those visually impaired students if we have any. Again, I'm going to just make it smaller. Any size, I'm just going to throw in a size for right now. And I might even type yes next to it also. And then my next answer, I'm going to go to upload media. I'm going to put a thumbs down. Down here for visually impaired students, I can put no. I'm also going to put no there. And remember, when I type that in, that means that it will read it for them. Now, I don't want any other answers. I only want two choices. So I'm going to get rid of this answer, and I'm going to get rid of that answer. And this one I need to bring the size down, or else it's going to be really huge on there. And again, I found around 50 to 75 seems to be a good size. So let me open this back up. And I want to make sure before you close it, I almost clicked done, you need to check the correct answer. So frog and foot do not rhyme. So click no. Okay. If I don't click the right answer, then it's going to tell them they're wrong when they put the right answer in. Okay. Whatever you have checked over here is the answer that is going to be graded. Okay. And there is a whole bunch of other options. There's item banking, where I think you can save pictures in there. I haven't really played around with it, but that was my understanding from the training that we took, that we can import pictures and documents and things that you're going to use at a later date. But like I said, I have not done anything with that. So now here's my second multiple choice question that I put on there. There's my first with my audio. There's my second with the audio. And the directions are the same for it all, but the audio is telling the two different words that I want to see if they know those rhyming pairs or not. When I go into settings up here, I can choose to have just one question at a time. I can shuffle the answers, which is really, there's no point to it, I don't think, on a yes or no. But if it's a multiple choice with multiple answers, you can have them shuffle the answers so that different people are getting different answers in different orders, questions in different orders. This would be really useful if you're using this in the classroom and more than one student are sitting next to each other. That way they're not looking at their buddy's answers and just copying them. It would actually be shuffling the questions so they're getting questions at different times. And then your reports and moderate, I'm not sure what that is. I haven't played around with that yet. But the build is where you're building out those different things. So there's lots of different options. And like I said, that online voice recorder is super easy if you just keep those two tabs open. It's an easy way to just record it, drag and drop it in, record it, drag and drop it in. If you want to save those, then make sure you have a file and you're not just dropping it in and closing it. They go right into your downloads folder anyhow. But if you want to save them, you would want to name them. If it's a question that you're going to use over and over again, make sure that you put a name on it rather than the generic file name that it gives it when it downloads. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go to return. And I think that is all that I was going to go over for today. Those are the things that I've played around with. And like I said, when we open a quiz, this is how you make a new quiz, by the way. You just click that little button and it'll come up with all those options. You can have the kids write an essay. You can have a fill in the blank question. Those are just 3 types of quizzes that I've worked with. ordering, multiple choice, and the stimulus one. And I love that stimulus one. And I think even a lot of those intermediate teachers are really going to love that, having that text right next to those questions. As they scroll through the questions, that text stays right there. It doesn't scroll up with the other questions. So they're looking right at the question and the source. But basically, those are the ones that I have played around with. Remember, if you are finished with something, make sure that you publish it. If you don't publish it, the kids won't be able to get to it. I really hope, if you've watched all these videos, I really hope that it has helped you to see that we can do this for even our younger learners, that Canvas can work. It's a lot. It really is a lot, but hopefully this helps get you in the right direction where you can start building up your Canvas pages for your kids, whether you're in school and just using it for homework and resources or in school stuff, or if you're doing e-learning, or if we're all doing e-learning, kind of up in the air right now. But hopefully this helps and gives you some practical use for it. And the trainings that the district did, it was wonderful, but it was a lot of information. And I know as a primary teacher, I love to see all these things and get a feel for what the platform is all about, but actually getting in there and playing with it and actually adapting it and thinking of ways to adapt and use it more practically for our younger kiddos. So I hope this helped, and I am here to help you. If you have any questions, anything that I can help you with, I will. All right. So have fun.